In every generation, there comes a quiet rebellion or movement, not of crowds or slogans, but of individuals choosing discipline over distraction, purpose over pleasure, and peace over chaos. In the ancient monasteries of India, Tibet, and China, monks discovered a secret to human potential: mastery of energy. They understood that the seed a man carries is not merely biological, it is spiritual electricity, the divine current of life itself. To preserve it was to preserve the soul's fire. Today, amid the noise of smartphones, advertisements, and endless temptation, the modern man has forgotten this art. Yet, as the old ways resurface, semen retention emerges once again not as a relic of monks, but as a revolutionary path for men who seek clarity, control, and inner peace in the digital storm. The monk's path was never about denial. It was about direction. When monks practiced celibacy or brahmacharya, they weren't rejecting pleasure, they were refining it. They understood that desire is energy, and energy can be molded. What the ancient sage achieved in solitude, the modern man can achieve through awareness. The difference lies in intention. The monk sought union with the divine, while the modern man seeks mastery over his distracted mind. Both paths converge on the same truth, that control of one's sexual energy leads to mastery of one's life force. When the seed is preserved, the spirit strengthens. When it is scattered, the spirit weakens. In the modern world, distractions attack from every direction. Lust is no longer a temptation, it is an economy. Every app, ad, and algorithm is designed to provoke desire and drain focus. Men today are surrounded by a constant invitation to release both literally and metaphorically. Yet, in that endless release lies exhaustion. The man who learns to retain in this environment becomes a modern monk, a warrior of stillness amidst chaos. His discipline separates him from the crowd. He may live in the city, work a 9-to-5 job, and use technology daily, but internally, he walks the same sacred path the monks once did: self-mastery through sacred energy conservation. When a man first commits to semen retention, he is walking into silence. The mind resists, the body rebels, and the old habits scream for satisfaction. But through that resistance, transformation begins. The monk within him starts to awaken. The first few days feel like friction, but soon the energy that once leaked through pleasure begins to rise. His voice deepens, his eyes sharpen, and his mind clears. Ancient monks described this stage as the awakening of fire, where stored energy ignites spiritual awareness. In modern terms, it feels like regaining control of your focus, your emotions, and your direction. The monk's path in ancient times involved solitude, meditation, and simplicity. In modern life, these must be integrated amidst movement. The modern practitioner doesn't retreat to mountains. He creates stillness within movement. His meditation may happen between meetings. His mindfulness may occur while walking through a crowd. Semen retention becomes his anchor. It gives him the focus to stay conscious in a distracted world. He begins to see temptation not as an enemy, but as a teacher. Each urge is a mirror, showing where he is weak, where he still needs mastery. Each moment of restraint becomes a silent victory, a reminder that power grows when energy is preserved. What makes retention sacred is not the act itself, but the awareness it brings. When monks practiced brahmacharya, they noticed that conserving sexual energy sharpened their intuition, deepened their meditations, and illuminated their consciousness. The modern man experiences a similar shift. As his body retains the vital force, his mind grows clearer. Thoughts become fewer, focus becomes stronger, and emotions balance. He no longer lives at the mercy of impulse. This new steadiness radiates outward. People feel it. Women sense it. Life itself begins to respond to his vibration. The world bends toward the centered man, not because he demands it, but because he emanates order in a disordered age. But the monk's path has always demanded endurance. Retention will test every weakness: lust, boredom, loneliness, pride. The modern monk learns to face each of these without running. He replaces reaction with observation. When urges arise, he doesn't suppress them. He breathes through them. Over time, he discovers that energy can be moved. The same desire that once pulled him downward now rises upward through breath, meditation, and movement. This is the alchemy of retention, the transformation of raw desire into spiritual fuel. The monks called it transmutation. The modern man calls it control. Both mean the same thing: mastery over self. Physically, this path restores vitality. In ancient writings, retention was said to strengthen the organs, fortify the bones, and rejuvenate the brain. Modern science now echoes this truth. Conserving seminal fluid maintains hormonal balance, supports mental health, and preserves energy reserves. The man who retains does not age the same way. His eyes regain sparkle, his posture straightens, and his aura brightens. He sleeps better, thinks clearer, and feels alive. This is not mysticism, it's the biology of conservation. The monk's wisdom, once symbolic, is now scientifically validated. The energy of creation, when retained, becomes the energy of regeneration. Spiritually, semen retention becomes a doorway to higher consciousness. Monks throughout history spoke of awakening the kundalini, the coiled energy at the base of the spine. When the seed is preserved, this energy rises, illuminating the inner world. The modern practitioner may not use these terms, but he feels it. His dreams become vivid, his creativity flows effortlessly, and his intuition sharpens. He senses guidance where there once was confusion. Retention connects him to a subtle intelligence that seems to whisper through stillness. This is not superstition. It's awareness expanding beyond logic. In silence, the modern monk discovers that energy itself is prayer. Relationships, too, evolve along this path. The man who retains no longer views women as objects of desire, but as mirrors of energy. He learns to appreciate beauty without lust, to connect without attachment. His presence becomes magnetic, yet grounded. He gives more and takes less. Women feel safe around him because his energy is stable, not needy. In intimacy, he practices awareness instead of indulgence. The act becomes sacred exchange, not depletion. Through retention, he rediscovers respect for himself and for the feminine essence that once ruled his mind. This balance between energy and emotion defines the new monk, passionate yet peaceful, strong yet soft. However, the monk's path in the modern world is not about isolation. It's about integration. The ancient monk left society to find enlightenment. The modern monk stays in it to embody enlightenment. He becomes the example of stillness amidst movement, self-control amidst chaos. His retention practice fuels his mission, whether in art, business, teaching, or leadership. The world needs such men not to preach, but to be. In a culture addicted to consumption, the man who retains becomes a beacon of contentment. His life becomes his sermon, his energy, his message. Every monk, ancient or modern, understands one principle. Energy is everything. Where your energy goes, your life follows. The average man spends his energy on fleeting pleasures. The monk invests it in evolution. Semen retention is not just about holding back, it's about holding upward. When that life force is preserved, it becomes willpower, purpose, and clarity. Each time the modern monk chooses awareness over indulgence, he rewires his brain, strengthens his spirit, and expands his destiny. He begins to experience what Taoist masters called immortality, not eternal life, but eternal awareness. He lives awake, not asleep. In practical life, retention enhances performance in every area. The man who conserves his energy performs better at work, studies deeper, and speaks with conviction. His presence commands respect, not because of ego, but because of integrity. His energy no longer leaks through anxiety or lust. It radiates through confidence. Every action becomes intentional. He no longer rushes. He no longer needs to impress. His fulfillment comes from inner stability. This is what the monk's path teaches in its purest form, that peace is not the absence of desire, but mastery over it. The greatest lesson semen retention offers in this modern age is remembrance. It reminds the man that he is more than his urges, more than his habits, more than the world's noise. It teaches him to reconnect with the sacred within himself. In ancient temples, monks meditated for decades to discover what the modern man can begin to feel in weeks of practice, but the body and mind are temples of divine energy. Retention is the daily worship of that temple. It is the art of honoring one's essence instead of wasting it. Through that honor, purpose is reborn. Ultimately, walking the monk's path in a modern world does not mean renouncing life. It means mastering it. The modern monk loves, works, creates, and interacts, but he does so consciously. He moves through temptation without being moved by it. He channels his energy into contribution, his passion into purpose, and his silence into strength. The discipline that once belonged to monasteries now belongs to men who dare to rise above mediocrity. In a culture obsessed with stimulation, semen retention becomes meditation. It is not escape, it is evolution. It is the way of returning to the core truth. When you master your energy, you master your reality. And so, the modern monk walks unseen among crowds, blending ancient wisdom with contemporary life. He smiles when others panic, focuses when others drift, and creates when others consume. His power lies not in dominance, but in direction. His silence speaks louder than noise. He doesn't preach chastity, he embodies clarity. The energy he retains becomes light that guides his every action. In him, the wisdom of centuries lives anew. Semen retention, once a monastic discipline, now becomes a modern revolutioner. Return to stillness and motion, to power and peace, to enlightenment in everyday living. And that, truly, is the monk's path reborn. Every age asks its own question of the human spirit. Ours asks whether a person can remain centered in a world that rewards distraction. Desire is no longer hidden in temples or whispered through poetry. It is sold, streamed, and delivered in seconds. To remain disciplined in such an age is to wage a silent rebellion against the gravity of noise. Discipline is not the rejection of pleasure, but the reordering of it. The one who masters desire does not extinguish the flame, he learns where to aim it. Every hunger, every craving, every restless impulse carries within it the potential for creation. Yet most scatter that potential outward, seeking satisfaction instead of transformation. The crucible is the same for everyone. It is life itself. The tension between what you want and what you choose reveals the shape of your character. Each moment of restraint becomes a spark of refinement. Each decision to wait, to build, to withhold until purpose aligns. These are the quiet revolutions that forge unbreakable will. Listen up. Your assignment before you leave. Like, subscribe, and go. I need to know your location. Comments section is mandatory. Our next video builds on this, so subscribe right now and turn on notifications for all the direct interaction, questions, and daily growth insights. Get into the Telegram channel. The link is waiting in the description. Share this video and let's spread this power. Go be a force today.